Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Cooking Goth, and tonight I'm going to teach you guys not only how to make scratch pumpkin pie, but scratch whipped cream as well. And I've got these recipes from allrecipes.com. Here is what you'll need. A 9-inch pie pan, 1 1/3 cups all-purpose flour, a half teaspoon of salt, a half cup of vegetable shortening, 3 1/2 tablespoons of cold water, 2 cups of mashed cooked pumpkin. And whenever you have seemed to have lost the can of evaporated milk, you have to go back out to the store even though you're dead tired and buy another can. Got it. Now I'm leaving. 1 12-ounce can of evaporated milk, 2 eggs, 3/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, half a teaspoon of salt again, and this is for the pie filling. And for the whipped cream, you'll need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You could use imitation, whatever, for your fake ass. And then 1 tablespoon of confectioner sugar or powdered sugar, whatever you want to call it. Before you begin, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And now slice your pumpkin in 2 and gut it like you fucking hate it. And now bake your pumpkin until you could stab it easily with a fork. I baked mine for an hour, but you need to check it after a half an hour. While you're waiting, make your pie crust. You should mix your salt and your flour together first. Now cut up your shortening and throw it in. Lastly is the water. And now mix everything with your hands. After a little while, it'll form a ball of dough. Next, roll your dough out until it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Lastly, for your crust, drape it over your pie pan. You may have to spread it out with your fingers like I did. And now you're done with the crust. Next, take your pumpkin out of the oven and stab that motherfucker with a fork. Most people will tell you that after baking your pumpkin, you should scoop it out. But honestly, whenever I do mine, I could just go ahead and peel the skin right off. But caution, this son of a bitch was hot. It peels off the pumpkin skin or else it goes back in the oven again. Just kidding. This pumpkin is done. Before you start mixing any batter, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Mix your eggs together before you throw anything else in. Break up your pumpkin and throw it in, and then throw everything else in, and then finally mix until smooth. Now dump it all in there. Now bake for 40 minutes or until you could stab it with a fork and have it come out clean. Normally people will tell you that after you are done baking your pie to refrigerate it for 3 to 4 hours, but I find it best to wait a full 8. I bake my stuff at night and then throw it in the refrigerator and then wake up the next morning and it's done. Wait until your pie is set to make your whipped cream. Whenever you go to make your whipped cream, just throw everything together and whip your cream around until it forms stiff peaks. And now it's done. And now for the taste test. This is what it looks like. I let this sit all day and all night, or all night and all day. This is what I've been waiting on all day. I've made this recipe probably a million times before. It is so good. Yeah, I let it sit all night and all day. To get like the best effect. To make sure that it's set up as much as it possibly could. Everything about this is just so much better than store-bought. I've worked all day, and now I get to come home to this delicious pumpkin pie made from scratch. I know my crusting is beautiful as what other people's is, but I don't care. I've never been able to figure that out. If you guys want to, give me some tips on how to do that, good, go for it. But, of course, it's going to get eaten anyway, so. But yeah, that's how you make this delicious pie. I can't stop talking about it, and I can't stop eating. Oop, I'm gonna waste up. But yeah, have a great night, everyone. I'm gonna eat almost this whole thing.